Felicitations, adventurers! Welcome to Roll for Felicity, where I'm playing my second game in the series I'm doing called Incredibly Indie, where I'm showcasing tabletop RPGs you've probably never heard of. Although, immediately off the bat, that's not true because Ennio Goes, who is the one who wrote this game that I'm playing today, is in chat. So, I would say has definitely heard of this game. But if you're not the person who wrote the game, in case you're not familiar, the game I'm playing today is called Bloodless, and it is a vampire survival solo TTRPG. And I'm very excited to play. You can see, I've got my notes, little thing ready so I can be taking notes. And actually, let me, right off the bat, so that I'm not constantly looking to the side, I'm going to move OBS onto that monitor, and then I'm going to move the stuff I'm going to be looking at onto this monitor, and I'll keep my dice over here. That's always what I have to do first thing, is move things around. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. I use she, her pronouns, and I run games on Roll for Felicity, and then also I play solo games, although it's been a little while since I played a solo game, so I'm very excited to play this one. And I am playing this to showcase the game, but also since it is a tabletop stream that's just me, I'm going to be interacting with the chat a lot more than I would be if, for example, if you were here for Mouse Order last night, where I don't necessarily have as much time to interact. So, if you have ideas or things that you think that I should do, feel free to chime in. And I lightly bullied Mila before stream started, saying that they're supposed to be in class. But that's wild. 3 weeks of striking, 2 days of class, and then a week off. That's nice, I guess. That's kind of nice. Hello, Killian! Let me grip it and rip it. I've got my pomegranate polar seltzer. Lightly. I mean, I feel like I bully as much as I get bullied, to be honest. My heart is broken. Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and do this. Now playing. If you want to get this game for yourself, you can over on ennio-goes.h.io/bloodless tabletop RPG, and give Ennio a follow while you're over there. And then you can also follow him on Twitter. Those links are both in chat right now. I feel like there's something else I need to say. Oh, yes. All of my overlays in general are done by Dreamy. Dreamy did this incredibly indie one for my solo games. So as you can see, my little board that I'm on is compliments of Dreamy. Drink our Chill Song Cider. Ooh, that sounds good. Can you put that in the Discord so that I remember? I thought pomegranate was the closest to, like, blood of anything that I have. Okay, so I read through the rules of this game before stream, but I did not make up my character because I thought it would be fun to just do the whole thing, since I want to showcase this game. I thought it'd be fun to do the whole thing here. And then also, I remember what I was going to say. Ennio did give me this copy of the game, which is great. And also, one of the reasons why I'm excited to play it is because it's built on Caltrop Core, which is not a system I've ever played, though I've heard other games that are on the system, and I'm a little bit familiar with it. And in case you didn't know, I am doing a Vampire the Masquerade game on Sunday, and this game is heavily inspired by Vampire the Masquerade. Actually, it says in the credits, Bloodless is heavily inspired by the Vampire the Masquerade actual play LA by Night and the What We Do in the Shadows series, which are both things that I love. And then also Ennio gave me some feedback on when I was developing the Incredibly Indie series, so I also wanted to give him a shout out for that. Okay, so I'm just going to read the introduction because I think that sets the game really well. So the introduction says, "This is not your night. Maybe you've messed with the wrong person and they've been hunting you down for days, or you've lost a fight and you're badly injured. Either way, you're exhausted. Chances are good you won't see another twilight. If you can make it to your haven, you might survive. But that's a big if. In this game, you play as a vampire at their limit. Your goal is to make it back to a safe place where you can recover. That could be a hidden sanctuary that only you know about, or in the company of trusted allies. You don't have much time to get there, however. The sun will soon rise and burn away any vampire out in the open. Oh my gosh, you know what? I never tweeted that I was live. Can you all tell I'm just kind of a wreck lately? Where's my phone? hang on, I'll be right back. I'm a very professional streamer. Okay, let me really quick do this, because I tweeted that I was going to be live, but then I didn't actually tweet that I am. I'm live with this now. Da, da, da. Oops. Sorry, Ennio. This is not starting off as, you know, a endorsement of my talents as a streamer. All right. So the things that I need for this game are 5 4-sided dice, which I do have limitless dice. You got this. Thank you. I have limitless 4-sided die because I have this online dice roller, which you can all see. A 6-sided die, 2 20-sided die. Tokens keep track of the game currency. Since I'm playing this on my computer, I don't have a ton of space, and I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm just going to be keeping track on this Bloodless tracker. So this is where I'm going to be kind of writing things that happen. This isn't explicitly a journaling game, but when I'm playing games on stream, I do kind of like to write down, you know, kind of what's happening and what the prompts are. So since this one isn't as much like writing stuff down, I probably won't get too bogged down in that, but I am very forgetful, and so I want to write down the things that have happened so far. So since I didn't start off with a character, I am going to just do this with y'all. So at the start of the game, take time to figure out what kind of vampire you were before tonight. There is a list of prompts on like kind of the end of the game. And I'm kind of trying to decide. I originally was thinking I would just go off the prompts so I can show what some of those are. I do have a Vampire the Masquerade character that I've played one time, and I just now was like, oh, maybe I should play that character. But I think I'm gonna go based off the prompts. So the questions are, which I'll write down here. What's your name? Important. What are you known for? What were you doing the night before this one? Oh my gosh, you know what? I just realized okay. I don't know if the music was really loud. I still had my desktop audio set to how it was for last night, which is louder so that you can hear, so you can hear the other players. What were you doing the night before this one? How did you end up on the brink of death? What's your goal is the next one. What's your goal? And who can help you? So I'm going to use the prompts in the game. Which you can use D6s. I'm gonna do usually what I do for roll tables, which I feel like this is what a lot of people do, is I'll roll on the table. If I don't feel like, you know, if I don't feel like that resonates with me, I'll roll again, or I'll kind of use it as a jumping off point. So first D6 is a 1, so this is for the who. You can shapeshift into a wolf, bat, or rat, but only if you shout out the name of the animal first. I have to go with that. I feel like that's kind of a what am I known for. I can shapeshift into a wolf, bat. I'm gonna add a couple animals to this, I think, because I also like the idea that I can shapeshift into a frog, cat. Those aren't traditional vampire ones, but I just like that. Or rat. I think the reason why I'm thinking frog is because off stream I've run a one-shot for Dreamy that is Vampire the Masquerade, and Trevor, one of the players, is a gangrel that is very frog-like. And so I like the idea of a vampire that can shapeshift into a frog. But only if I shout out the name of the animal first. I need to adjust my keyboard so it's not so clicky right now. Oh, that's such a cute little frog emote. That's very cute. I like that. I was trying to see what channel it's from. Art by Vesta. That's cute. I was gonna try to go into this with more of a serious tone, but already we're doing more, we're ending up more what we do in the shadows, which honestly is fine with me. All right, so why? Why am I on the run? What's going on with me? So I got a 3. Ooh, in a moment of blood-fueled frenzy, you trashed a well-known vampire nightclub. Now the owners want you to pay back the damages with interest. I like that. So I think that's kind of like what were you doing the night before this one. So, and I like that fits so, okay, so in the Vampire the Masquerade games I've been doing on stream, Dreamy is one of the players for that as well, and her character owns a nightclub called, like, Le Champagne, and it's, like, a vampire nightclub, basically. So let's say this is in, let's say this poor unfortunate vampire is in that same universe, which is set in Los Angeles. I've got my things kind of like overlapped right now. Okay, hang on. Oops. All right. In a moment of blood-fueled, the bad thing about when I play games that I'm typing live on stream is that people can see what I am, what I don't know how to spell. Okay, so blood-fueled frenzy, you trashed a well-known vampire nightclub called, I'm pretty sure I know it's Champagne. I'm pretty sure the nightclub is Le Champagne. Now, Bella, the owner, and that's like so perfect for how Bella would be if I trashed the nightclub. Bella, the owner, wants me to pay back the damages with interest. That fits really well. Not just gonna be so mad. Yeah, it's gonna turn out that I am just playing, oh, why can't I think of the character's name? I can't think of the character or the actor right now. Matt, what is his last name? I don't know. The character from What We Do in the Shadows. I should be drinking a Dr. Pepper to get some caffeine and, sugar. Matt Berry, yes, thank you. I need some caffeine and sugar. Laszlo and Matt Berry, thank you. This is why I like streaming. It unfortunately exposes that I don't remember things, but it's like little helpers. Okay, so 3 for where. Oh my gosh, this is really turning into I am like Laszlo. I got a 3 for the where, which is you have a complicated relationship with a vampire that turned you, but they are always looking out for you. Oh, I didn't say it was a vampire that turned you. I am behind on What We Do in the Shadows, so I don't know if that's true or not of Laszlo. All right. So who can help you? I feel like that fits here. A complicated relation. Oops. Well, all the rest of these are. Oh wait, no. Some of these I wrote as you, and some I wrote as I. I'm not blood. I trash. Now it's me. Yeah, I even in this one I wrote you, and then I wrote me. I have a complicated relationship with my sire, but they are always looking out for me. Okay, so that's good. I don't know how to spell relationship, but other than that, that's good. Okay, and then the what is the last one that we'll roll. Is a 1. The vampire you ran into is someone you turned, and you're responsible for them. Ooh. Okay, okay. I feel like that doesn't fit directly with any of these answers, but maybe I can put that also with who can help you. Or maybe that's how, maybe I got in a fight with this person. Oh, here's what I think. Here's how I ended up on the brink of death. All right. So I think what happened is, this is kind of coming together. I was at Le Champagne. While I was there, I ran into a vampire that I turned. And I'm responsible for them. They got into a fight or something, and another kindred did something to them. I went into a blood-fueled frenzy, trashed the place, got like really beaten up by other kindred, but managed to make it out. I think that's how I ended up on the brink of death. This is all sounding very Laszlo still. Okay. While at Le Champagne, I ran into... I'm trying to think of a name for this kindred that I should think of a name for my sire as well. The names... I always look up name, like, meanings. I feel like... I don't know, the name Moira... I feel like I named a character Moira recently, but I will just go with Moira. While at Le Champagne, I ran into Moira. What is it called in Vampire? It's called, like, Childer, right? Is that what it's called when you turn someone Childer? I'll just say whom I sired. Let's say she was, like, kind of getting harassed. She was getting harassed by some... Oops, I didn't spell that right. By some other kindred. And I stepped in to help her. During... I think I'll just say, like, a fight... broke out, during which I let my rage get the best of me. I didn't win the fight, but I managed to escape. Beaten and bloody, but still alive. Moira, let's say Moira and I got separated. I got separated. So I think that feeds into what my goal is. My goal is to make it back to my, what is it called? Sanctum? Haven. It's called a Haven. I'm using Vampire the Masquerade lore specifically because I'm kind of getting in the mindset of, like, prepping for the vampire game that I'm going to be running on Sunday. And also that's, like, the main vampire stuff I've been doing lately is watching Vampire the Masquerade stuff. So, But this game, you do not have to be that specific. It does not have to be Vampire the Masquerade lore. My goal is to make it back to my haven. And hopefully find Moira on the way. I think I'm gonna make it tougher for myself. My goal is to find Moira, and get her back to my haven before sunrise. Because I am responsible for her. Okay, so now we have, I think the only question that we haven't answered is, what is your name? I do feel like I'm a dude. Maybe just because I'm thinking Matt Berry. It's so funny that all the rest of this is like relatively serious, but what I'm known for is that I can I can shapeshift, but only if I shout out the name of the animal first. Name. What is a good name for this character? I mean, I also haven't, like, if I am kind of going, I don't think I'm going to assign a clan. I don't think I want to get that into it, and maybe it'll just come up as we go. Masmo. That's very, like, yeah, Masmo with a C. That's very, my family came over for my birthday, on the 11th, and we played the Actually board game, and one of the questions was, it was a shiny question, and there were, like, 4 names, and you had to put, like, which was the right, like, franchise or whatever, and the names were Aragon, Aragorn, Aragog, and what was the last one? Aragorn, Aragog. I can't remember what the last one was. But Mike thought that Aragon and Aragorn were both from Lord of the Rings. And I was like, it's so funny that Aragon is just dragon, but 1 letter different. Because I feel like people were like, oh, what's his name? Christopher Paolini, is that the writer of Aragon? They were like, oh, like, I remember when those books came out, mermaids were like, which is the spider? I can't remember what the 4th name was. There was another one. I think I read the first one and was like, whatever on it. I wasn't too into it. I don't even know if I finished it. But I remember when they came out, people were like, oh, it's such a ripoff of, like, Lord of the Rings, because Aragon is so close to Aragorn. But I don't think that's what it was. I think it was literally just they took dragon and shifted it 1 letter to be Aragon, which is so funny. What was the other one? I don't remember. I could get the rule book out, but we're already getting sidetracked. But Mike thought that, like, Aragon was, like, Aragorn's, like, name before or whatever. Yeah. I just remember those books being a big deal in my circle because the guy, Christopher Paolini, was, like, 14 or 15 or something when he wrote them, and he was also homeschooled, and I was homeschooled, so, like, everyone in the homeschool group was like, these are so good, and they're, you know, they're not, for some reason in my homeschool, like, society is not the right word, but I can't think of the right word. Things with magic were not okay, unless it was, of course, Chronicles of Narnia, which makes sense because they're a Christian allegory. But also, for some reason, Lord of the Rings was fine, which I don't understand. I don't understand why that was fine. And because Aragon was so similar to Lord of the Rings, Aragon was also okay. I guess, but, like, a lot of evangelical Christians don't view Catholics as Christians, so... And I remember, like, talking to a friend of mine one time about it, and I was like, I don't understand why this is okay. And they were like, Well, it's because Lord of the Rings is also an allegory for Christianity. And I was like, it's explicitly not. Tolkien hated allegories. Like there are some, like, you can read it that way, and you can also read it as like connecting to like World War II and stuff like that. And it's definitely, I would say, inspired by, like, whether consciously or subconsciously, I think, and influenced by those things, but explicitly not directly supposed to be an allegory. Yeah, I don't think it was intentional, which is like fine, but it's very funny to be like, just imagine Tolkien like rolling in his grave, being like, I don't even like Lord of the Rings, famously, but Tolkien just being like, how dare you compare my writing to C.S. Lewis's writing. That doesn't get to the answer of what my character's name is, though, which is, now I just want to make it, like, Tampire. Or, like, Dr. Acula. I love them being besties and just having a terrible breakup. I saw a TikTok that was, like, that was like the sound where it's like, yeah, no, but it was Tolkien finding out that C.S. Lewis converted to Christianity, but then realizing that he converted to not being Catholic. Yeah, being Anglican. How dare you write allegories and be Anglican? I wanted you to be Christian, but not like this. Alright, I think my character's name is, you know what, let's go one out from Matthew and just be Matthias. And then, because I'm also thinking of Mouser Last Night, which isn't Matthias one of the is that right? The main character in Redwall. Alright. Oh, of course, after I think about that for so long, there is a list of names in here, but I think I'm going to stick with Matthias since it took me so long. These names are very good, though. Look to this list to further help when creating names, events, or locations. I'm not going to read all of them, because you should get this game and read them yourself. But I will point out one is Grimsley, which I do like. And actually, I think I'm going to take that for my last name. Matthias Grimsley. That sounds like someone who would be suspected of being Jack the Ripper. And a little known suspect of Jack the Ripper is one Matthias Grimsley. That would be the documentary. All right. Next, I'll determine my stats. You have 3 stats that represent your abilities and a pool of d4s to assign to them. At this point in reading this, not now, but when I read this the first time, I realized why this game system is called Caltrop Core, because d4s are also called caltrops because they look like caltrops. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why it's called that. I don't know why I didn't think that maybe that would be why. Okay, have a pool of d4s to assign them. Have a higher number of d4s increases your chance of success with that skill. Assign 1d4, 2d4, or 3d4 to each of the stats below. You may only use each set of d4s once, which I am assuming means to assign to stats. It doesn't mean when I'm rolling dice later. So, my stats. I have ferocity, cunning, and influence. What am I not? I feel like I cannot be that influential. If I'm yelling wolf, bat, cat, rat, frog before I turn, I think my influence is probably 1d4. So let's do influence. And also if I'm getting into bar fights and I owe money to this person, let's say 1d4 for influence. I'm gonna bold this so that I can find it later. Ooh, okay. Man. I feel like ferocity has to be the high one based on what's happened so far. So ferocity is gonna be 3d4. The song right now is a little intense since nothing has really happened yet. Alright, let's switch over to this. Okay, ferocity 3d4. Oh, well, this is also kind of intense. This playlist is intense. Alright, there we go. Which leaves cunning with 2d4. I think that's fitting. Cunning, 2d4. These aren't in the order they're presented in the game or in the order of the d4s. Oh, but you know what's nice with Notion? This keeps happening. I make my grocery list not in Notion. I just make it in my Notes app so that I can share it with Mike since we both have iPhones. But the Notes app doesn't do this. I can just move. I can just move whole paragraphs. So if I want these in order, 1d4, 2d4, 3d4, I just have to pull it up. Isn't that nice? All right. We are now to the gameplay phase. This game is broken up into, Notion is great. Gameplay is broken into 6 rounds that each represent an hour of time you have before sunrise, which means, let's say sunrise is 6 a.m., so it's like midnight. The game doesn't even say to do that, but I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking about it. In order to resolve, so during each round, you'll encounter an obstacle that you must resolve before continuing as described in the event table. In order to resolve an event, use the stat related to how you want to deal with the situation. Roll d4s equal to the amount you have in the stat chosen and take the highest roll as your result. Then compare that number to the table below, which is 1 is an absolute failure, 2 is a partial failure, 3 is a partial success, 4 is an absolute success. All right, I'll get into more of that when it actually happens. And then I also have, I'm going to put this in caps, blood tokens. I will say Notion did just add an AI thing, which I'm not crazy about. So I guess don't stand in Notion. A cautious stand with some stipulations. All right. I don't even know what it does. Like, what I'm using AI for when I'm, like, trying to make a to-do list for myself. Well, everything's owned by Amazon. Twitch is owned by Amazon as well. I didn't know that Notion was owned by Amazon, though. That's a bummer. Well, everything's bad. Alright, blood tokens are a currency you can use to survive the night. You start the game with 0 blood tokens, and you gain more as you progress. So let's put that a big fat 0. Yay, capitalism and monopolies. We love it. Here at Roll for Felicity, we love capitalism. Not true. We love socialism here. Alright. Gain more as you progress through the night. Blood tokens can be used in 2 ways. Okay. I'll come back to that when I actually have blood tokens. What an aggressive marker! Just look. Oh, I'm streaming on Twitch. I wonder what my chat has to say. Look over. Class traitor. Ooh. Good. There's a page that shows 6 hours till sunrise, and honestly, I'm not gonna show it on stream. It is worth getting this book just for this page. I really love the way this design is. It's like a whole page that says 6 hours till sunrise and has a big sun on it, and then it has the text. It's very cool. All right. So at the start of each round, I'll face an encounter. Use the encounters to describe what obstacles you face on the way to your goal. When describing an event, try to have them tied together to relate to your current situation in some way. So I roll 2d20, and I pick which result I would like. So I can go for a 2 or a 3. Either... Ooh. Okay, I think this makes sense. This is mostly a troll marker. You are a troll, so it adds up. Okay, so I'm only going to read the ones I think I'm going to choose out loud. You find yourself in another vampire's territory. You are not welcome here. Oh, Sierra, hello. Thank you for the stretch redeem. I'm playing a vampire game. I don't know why I'm so tired. I had coffee today already. I think narratively it makes sense for Matthias Grimsley to start off in, especially if I'm just... Oh, you know what? What were you doing the night before this one? I think I'm gonna just change this to... I kind of made this be the same night. We'll worry about that later. Whatever it is, I was at Le Champagne. So I think I'm in Bella's territory. Vampire noise, that's good. Aren't they all? That's true. They are all troll markers if they're coming from you. All markers are troll markers when they come from a troll. Okay. So I first have this prompt, and then I can decide what I want to do to try to get out of it, what stat I want to use. And then based on how that goes, how the roll goes, things happen. I kind of like, maybe I feel like I just got kicked out of the club. Matthias Grimsley, I would describe as, it's not that he doesn't look like Matt Berry. I think he probably does look like Matt Berry. But I imagine he looks... This is another thing I'm just stealing from Trevor's character in our off-stream one-shots. But I like the idea that he looks a little bit, like, animal-y. So I feel like his eyes are, like, kind of far apart, like a frog. Okay, I need to pick something... Each animal. So wolf... Something about him looks wolfy. I think it's his hair looks wolfy. I think he's kind of got that, like, it's not like a mullet, but it's like just when, like, werewolves kind of have, like, the hair that's kind of mullety. I think he has hair like that. Something about him looks like a bat. His eyes are far apart like a frog's. I think he's kind of got some prominent front teeth like a rat. So I need to figure out what about him looks like a bat and what about him looks like a cat. And then, apart from that, he looks like Matt Berry. What is a bat-like quality that a human could have? This is the off-brand Matt Berry. This is Matt Berry. This is like Matt Berry if he was in The Fly. And kind of got combined with some other animals. Oh... Pointy ears. Yeah, bat ears. I think he has kind of like prominent, slightly pointy ears. Cat nose, I think cat nose is too animal. He still has to look kind of human. I do think he likes to scream to find his way. I think sometimes he forgets when he's in his human form and he just kind of screams. Maybe his eyes are kind of cat-like. Like, maybe he has very sensitive pupils. So, like, it's very noticeable, like, when he's in the dark, his pupils get very big. When he's in the light, his pupils get very small. Maybe something like that. So that's Matthias Grimsley. An upturned nose instead of a fully cat. But, like, that kind of cute up nose. Yeah. Maybe that, too. He has, like, a little, kind of a cattish nose. I wish I could draw. I would love to draw this guy, but I can't. Maybe I'll try to make a pick crew. But not right now. So, he has just gotten kicked out of Le Champagne. There's some very tough-looking, kindred that are, like, it's kind of the thing of, like, and stay out! And he, like, kind of falls into the street. He's got, like, a bloody nose. He's, like, his one eye is, like, very swollen because he got punched in the face. He's looking around, doesn't see Moira, which is his childer that he, like, got into this fight for. So he's kind of, like, looking around for her, doesn't see her. And realizes, as he's looking around at other people, first of all, there's a lot of humans around. It's not really that late at night. I think it's, like, midnight. So he's kind of like, oh, okay, I can't really shapeshift right now. There's a lot of people around. And I do it in a very obvious way where I yell the name of the animal first. And I think also he's kind of in the situation where he's like, oh, all of the vampires here are, like, not, like, they're friends with Bella, who just kicked me out of her club, and I just, like, you know, destroyed the place. And so I think what he's going to try to do is I like the idea of him starting with his worst stat, which is influence. And basically I think it would be so funny if you just trashed someone's club. I think he goes there a lot. He just trashed the club. He knows he's in trouble. He just got kicked out. If he immediately tries to call Bella and be like, hey, like, do you think you could call me a cab? Or something like that, like, to get out of here. Because he's seeing these other kindred who are, like, coming and going that are, like, not friendly to him. So, I think what I do is I just, I think I just try to use one of these, stats. You'll encounter an obstacle that you must resolve before continuing as described in the event table. In order to resolve an event, use the stat related to how you want to deal with this situation. Roll d4s. Okay, so I only have one d4. I don't have any blood points to add to this, so let's just see how this goes. A 3. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a partial success. You get what you want, but things get complicated. Gain a blood token, reduce your stat by 1d4. Okay, so that's actually pretty good for me because I used influence, which is my worst stat. I can't go below 1d4. So really, this is pretty much, I mean, narratively it's a partial success, but mechanically I'm getting basically the same benefit as I would for a full success. I have 1 blood token. So let's write a little bit to keep track. Matthias Grimsley. Actually, should I write this? I've been describing it in third person, but I kind of want to write it in first person. Okay, so, it's midnight. I look around the street for Moira, who isn't anywhere I can see. That being said, my field of vision is a little impaired by the burgeoning. That's not how you spell burgeoning. Black eye. I just received from Bella's Tufts. Tufts is such a fun. Bella's Tufts. I know I'm in trouble if I stick around here for too long. So I call Bella to ask for a favor. I think I call her and I'm like, hey, I know I just kind of, I owe you some money now, but, you know, if I die, you're really not going to be getting that money. So, do you think you could, call me a cab and, you know, get me into a little bit of a safer territory? And I think that, like, just works enough, but I think what she says is that she'll add it to my tab. So the thing that is a partial success is now I owe her more, but I'm out of where I'm trying to go. I feel like I want to say, like, the fact that she even picked up is miraculous. And once I started talking, I found myself stumbling into the remarkably salient point that if I get killed by her Ventru pals while trying to get home, I'm not exactly going to be able to pay her back for the damages to her club. This is damages to her club. She calls me, and we'll say an Uber. She calls me an Uber and says she'll add it to my tab. I cringe, knowing, cringe knowing that's not going to be a cheap tab given the time of night and the location, but it's better than being killed. And I think the reason why I don't just have the cab take me home is because I'm like, it's so expensive. And then also, like, is someone following me? I also need to find Moira still. So that's the first hour, is I think waiting for the Uber. So let's see what my next complication is gonna be. Next event, 1 a.m. Let's get rid of these and let's just roll these. 9 and a 20. Okay. A 9. Oh, this is good. Okay, so 20 is you find someone that owes you a debt but is unwilling to pay it. So I think what happens, instead of being like, oh, I'm not going to have this Uber take me home, I'm going to have it take me someplace else, I think it's like I'm kind of like rattled, you know? And I'm trying to think of where I can come up with this money, because I imagine I don't have a lot. And I'm like, oh, this other, should it be a human or should it be a kindred? I feel like it should be a human. I like if it's a human, I think. And maybe I've got kind of like a protection racket going with, like, there's a couple of humans that, there's a couple of humans that are afraid of kindred getting to them for some reason. And so I've kind of got a thing where I'm like, hey, if you pay me, I can, like, keep you safe from other vampires. And maybe it's not even, like, real. Maybe it's just, like, people who, like, know about vampires and, like, think they're in trouble, but they're not really. I like the idea that I'm not actually really doing that much to, like, it's kind of like I'm just going and being like, oh, it's almost like if they don't pay me, I just, like, tell people, like, oh, hey, you should, like, go kill this guy. That is basically what a protection racket is, I guess. But I like the idea that it's not even, like, the humans think, the humans that I'm doing this to, think that I'm actually protecting them. But in reality, there's not really anyone after them except for me if they don't pay me. I like that. So, where am I going to come up with this money? I know Bella's not going to give me a lot of leeway. To pay it back in installments. And she's even throwing in that I have to pay what she estimates she's losing in revenue. While her, I'm trying to think of what the damage is. So I think it's like, definitely something has to basically be renovated. So I think it's like a private room in the nightclub. Like, the fight started in, like, one of those private, like, you know, you can go in and get a lap dance or whatever. So it started back there. Oh, I wrote pirates. Well, the pirate room. Private room. The, 2 tables. The left side of the stage and that piece of the bar are renovated. I tried to tell her that I don't think the big mirror behind the bar is bringing in a ton of revenue by itself, but she's got me by the balls this time. Who do I have by the balls? All right, what's the name? What do we think the name is of this human that I have by the balls that I can get some money from? I could look at the table and see Jason. Oh, Sean. Let's do Sean, since I do know an IRL Jason. And I'll just be thinking of him. Sean. Why do we think... So Sean thinks that there are kindred after him for some reason. In reality, there pretty much aren't. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Translating the Argonaut in Greek, and I hate Greek hero Jason. I almost knocked my drink over. Ugh, my pomegranate polar seltzer. Who do I have by the balls? I've got Sean by the balls. And I caught him one night. Oh, you know what would be kind of fucked, but I kind of like it? I think that Matthias was, like, kind of, you know, going around doing his thing and found that Sean had, like, killed this person, thinking that the person was kindred, but actually was just a person, and Sean just, like, killed them. And so I was like, oh no, like, the vampires are really gonna be after you. Like, I'll keep you safe. I'll get you, like, set up in a new place. With a dead, I don't think I'm gonna say caught. I stumbled on him one night when I was looking for a quick bite. Oops, quite is what I wrote, quick. When I was looking for a quick bite. I smelled blood, but what I found was Sean. Sean with a dead body, stake in hand. I told him I could protect him from the vampires for a fee, of course. He doesn't know the only kindred on his ass is me. Since whoever he killed wasn't a vampire, just somebody in the wrong place at the wrong time. I like that. He's an oathbreaker, a dick, and pathetic. Jason is the one who killed Medusa, right? Is that right? I got a lot of the, like, Greek heroes, confused. Alright. I showed up at Sean's place. Oh, Perseus. See, the case in point. I do get them mixed up. Who did Jason kill? You know what? Let's roll for this first before I have that I show up there, because I think the roll will help me figure out why Sean doesn't want to pay. I do think the stat that I'm going to use is ferocity, because I feel like I'm just intimidating him. So that's 3d4 that I get to do. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. A full success. So I did get a 4. And that's the highest stat that I need to get. You get what you want and more. Gain a blood token. So I get another blood token. But this night is going great for me. I'm trying to think of where I should keep track of the time. I showed up at Sean's around 1 a.m. I told the Uber to get lost. I like that Matthias is just very rude. Jason's wife, who he abandoned and who did all the work for him, was Medea. He got the golden fleece. Medea also killed their kids. Oh my god. I like how in one you're like, she did all the work for him, and apparently some of the work is killing their kids. Okay, I told the Uber to get lost. And pounded on his door. Sean's a paranoid guy, and I've found the best way to get money out of him is to prey on that. Try to give me some excuse about needing the money. What would he need the money for? This definitely isn't going to be all the money I need for Bella, but I think it should be a good chunk. I think it should be like $500 or something like that. What would he need the money for? He needs the money... Oh, to fix his car. That's like an easy. He needs the money to get his car fixed. But I told him, what use is a car to a dead guy? I knocked him around a little bit, put the fear of God into him, and suddenly he was able to scrounge up $500. This is so, like, I thought this character was gonna be, like, kind of pathetic. But so far, Matthias is, like, you know, he's doing okay. We'll see what happens next. Okay. Oh, the kids were revenge. Not her best moment, to be honest. That is a good way to get revenge, I guess. I feel like that's kind of, like, also bad for yourself, right? Because they're also your kids. He abandoned her after she betrayed her dad, who may have been going to kill her anyways, and brought her, a foreigner, to his city-state and then dumped her for the princess. She betrayed her dad to get him the fleece. She's also a cool witch. The whole kid stitch is bad. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like that you said cool and not evil. Yeah. He has good income but just fucks around, I guess. She also chopped up her brother to escape her dad, which also less cool. Yeah. I wouldn't say chopping up your brother is the best idea, but you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. Speaking of, let's roll for what's happened at 2 a.m. I still haven't found Moira. So, a 7 and a 13. This is hour 3, so we're halfway through the night. Ooh. Okay. Moira betrayed you for a fuckboy named Jason. Maybe. Okay, so my 2 prompts for 2 a.m. are either someone from your past appears and asks something of you, which that could be my sire showing up, or someone or something is following you. What do we think? Do we think someone's following me, or do we think someone shows up from my past? Both are good, yeah. And both are good for, this kind of the midpoint. Because this is the 3rd thing out of 6 events that happened during the night. Me being followed, I kind of like that too. Okay. Something's following me. I think because I don't know exactly what's following me, maybe I'll roll first and then kind of decide what's happening. So what do I want to roll? Let's roll cunning. We haven't done cunning yet. We don't have to use all of these stats, but I kind of want to be trying different ones. But cunning reflects your cleverness, ability to think quickly and avoid danger. You are deceitful and evasive, and you will not be caught. So I feel like, you know, if you're going to be running away, if you don't want to be caught by someone following you, that's the one to go for. So that I have 2 d4s. So that's a 3 on one of them, so it's already going to be a partial success for sure. 2 3s, okay. Oh, that does mean I lose a die, though. This one, the partial success, hits me a little harder. You get what you want, but things get complicated. Gain a blood token and reduce your stat by 1d4. So I should have probably used a blood token. That's okay. So my cunning is only 1d4. Okay, so someone is following me. And something happens that I become a little less cunning in the process. I have already set up that Matthias is taking advantage of a lot of humans and basically being like, hey, vampires are going to come after you, which isn't true. The only vampires that are coming after them are me. I think I've probably, killed some people, that way, where it's been like, all right, you don't have the money for me. So to send a message, I pretend someone else killed them, but really it's me, and, I'm feeding on people. So I feel like at this point, if something's following me, it does make sense for it to be, if we're going, Vampire the Masquerade terminology, somebody from the Second Inquisition, a human who is, there's this kindred who's, preying on people. So I do like that. And I think what this would mean is I get injured. People always say not to talk on the phone or get too distracted when you're alone in LA after alone in LA. I'll say alone on the streets of LA, especially after 2 a.m. I'm used to being the most dangerous thing on the streets. So when I went to call Bella again to let her know I could get her some of her money tomorrow, I let my guard down. The Second Inquisition. You know what is so stupid and funny, but I am going to say? Nobody expects. Isn't it like nobody expects the Inquisition? Is the Monty Python thing? Nobody expects the Second Inquisition. Yeah, oh, the Spanish Inquisition. Yeah, that's right. Nobody expects nobody expects the Second Inquisition. What a stupid joke for me to put in here. I held my guard down. Nobody expects the Second Inquisition. This guy was on me before I even realized he was a threat. Oops. I feel like at this point I have to shape into a wolf. He got a good crack at me before I could even shout wolf and change into something a little more deadly. I'm already down one eye. So instead of sticking around for a fight, I ran away with my tail between my legs. Can already tell this bump to the head is going to be I'll just say instead of it's going to be is nasty even in wolf form. Okay. I like that. I like that. I said I wasn't going to get too wrapped up in writing, but then, of course, I am getting wrapped up in writing. All right. So it's now 3 a.m. Okay. So the way the blood tokens work is, I can use them to help survive the night. You start the game with 0 blood tokens, so you gain more as you progress through the night. Now I have 3 because I've had only partial successes and absolute successes. Once per round, you can spend 1 blood token to add an additional 1d4 to your next roll. This represents you using your supernatural abilities to help aid you in a conflict. Which I guess technically I should have done that to Warg, or not Warg, Shapeshift. At the end of the game, the number of blood tokens you've acquired are added to one last roll and used to resolve the final event. So, you kind of want to hang on to blood tokens for the final event. where you roll all the d6 you have left and then add blood tokens. So for example, if I had been having so right now I have 5, I said d6s, it's d4s. I have 5 d4s and 3 blood tokens. So I'd be rolling 5 d4s and adding 3 to it. And I want to, if I get between a 1 and a 5, my character dies. If I get between a 6 and a 10, I survive the night, but there's still a problem. If I get 11 or higher, I've survived and I'm safe and sound to describe my haven. So, you know, you want to get an 11 or higher. Right now, my chances are not the worst. I've only lost 1 die. Do I want to hang on to... You know, I don't even have to decide right now. I can roll the event first. So I roll 2d20. Let's get rid of these d4s and roll the 2d20 to determine. Okay, so 9 and 10. I think I already had... Oh! 10 is you come across another vampire in need of help. That's gotta be Moira. That's like too perfect. I've been kind of waiting for one that would be good to run into her. Okay. So, I guess the thing has to be that she's pretty injured. So that's the obstacle, basically, is that I've got to get both of us home. I think since it's Moira, I probably will use a blood token. And I feel like this has to be cunning to try to get home. Or I could use influence to try to get in touch with my sire. Either way, it's only going to be 1d4. I don't think ferocity makes sense. Unless Moira's in another fight, and then I could use ferocity. Maybe... I'm not picturing that she's in another fight. I'm picturing that I find her and she's like kind of in rough shape, that we're both in rough shape. So I think I'm going to go with influence. And I think I'm going to try to go with contacting my sire. So I only get 1d4 for this. I'm going to spend a blood token to add another d4. So I get 2 chances, and I want to get a 3 or a 4, really. That's a 1 and a 2. Okay. A 2 is a partial failure. You don't get what you want. Reduce your stat by 1d4. Okay. So I can't reduce my stat by 1d4. I already only have 1d4. I did spend a blood token. I don't... Okay. So I think what happens is... Okay, so, oh, no. I think since I was thinking of calling my sire, I think what happens is... I'm still a wolf. I'm running away from this fight. I know that someone from the Second Inquisition is kind of after me. I know that, like, also, like, Ventru are not really going to be having a good disposition towards me because of Bella and wrecking the club. Probably a lot of Kindred are not liking me right now because a lot of Kindred go to that club. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to call my sire. What do we think my sire's name is? I can look at the thing. I think I like the idea that my sire's a woman. I think my sire's probably a woman. And let's see, names. We've got... Ooh, Liliana. I kind of like that name. Let's do that. Unless I see something come up in the chat. Alright. While I ran off to lick my wounds. I smelled, I caught the scent of blood. It's called like Vitae, right? For Kindred. No. Not blood. Vitae. even with my busted up nose and eye, I think, oh, I'm switching between first and, or present tense and past tense. I want to do present tense. While, yeah, let's just say while licking my wounds. Literally, because I'm a wolf. While licking my wounds, I catch the scent of blood. Other than my own. Boo-hoo. No, not blood, V-tight. Even with my busted up nose and eye, I think I recognize it as Moira's. If I can smell it, I know others can too. We've only got a few hours until sunrise, and we're still pretty far from home. I turn back into myself. Following Moira's scent, and find her barely conscious. Maybe she's in her car. I feel like that's, like, I feel like when I play vampire, it's always like, this is happening in an alleyway. Like, I'm just always imagining everything's happening in an alleyway. But I feel like if she got in a fight, I imagine she's like a thin blood or something. She got in a fight, she goes to her car, she drives off. Find her barely conscious in her car. Of course, if she has a car, then I can use the car. Maybe she's out of gas. Yeah, the whole city's just a bunch of alleyways. Which has run out of gas. Let's say that. And that's why she can't get home either. She's basically passed out. She's out of gas. I've got to call Liliana. I know she's going to. I kind of think, so, like, the prompt that we rolled is that we have a complicated relationship. I kind of like the idea that the relationship is just, like, I know she's gonna yell at me. Like, Matthias is, like, so hesitant to call his sire for help, even though she always helps him, because she always is like, you're such a fucking moron. Like, she just, like, thinks that I'm stupid, which I am. Like, I'm playing such a skeezy little weirdo. I know she's gonna yell at me, but I don't know what else I can do. And then I think I just don't get what I want. So I feel like she just doesn't pick up. The phone rings and rings, then goes to voicemail. I call again and again. No answer. I find myself wanting to hear her yelling at me, because at least that means I've got some lifeline here. Nothing. I have to keep moving while I wait for her to call me back. Alright, so that was our fourth. So we only have two more prompts. Right, because we got, the first one was Another vampire's territory. The next one was someone that owes me a debt but is unwilling to pay it. The next one is someone following me. The next one is come across another vampire need for help. So yeah, 5. We're on 5 now. So let's roll these d20s. This is so much fun. I'm having such a good time. These prompts are like really, like I can see this is like very cinematic. Alright, so either a 2 or an 18. 2 I've already had. Oh, this is so good. Okay. 18. A priest and their religious followers stand in your way. That's so cool because I already said it was like the Second Inquisition like had kind of shown up. Okay. I feel like it has to be, so I have the car, it's out of gas. I'm like, okay, I have $500 cash. I scrounge around in the back of the car for a gas can. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go, like, try to find a gas station that's still open that I can get gas at. So I'm, like, walking around. Maybe they just want to talk. Maybe they just want to tell me about Narnia and Lord of the Rings and Aragon. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe they could just want to tell me, you know. I also think maybe they just want to tell me how Harry Potter is bad. The only thing that I'll give them is Harry Potter is bad. The only thing that my homeschool compatriots were right about. Harry Potter is bad, but not for the reasons we thought. It's not bad because of magic. It's bad for other much worse reasons. Okay. So it's so funny if this happens at a gas station. Like, I'm pumping gas, and then, like, a priest comes up to me. Because I feel like this character that I'm playing is, like, pretty funny. I feel like if this was a movie, it would be kind of a dark comedy. Like, it would be kind of a thing where it's like, okay, this, like, kind of fuck up is, like, kind of stumbling from place to place. You know what I really am getting the vibe of is probably because I played it so recently, but, like, I really feel like I'm kind of playing, like, even more than Matt Berry, I feel like I'm playing kind of, like, the Disco Elysium. What's his name? Harry. I can't remember his last name. From Disco Elysium. I feel like that's the vibe of the character that I'm playing right now. Alright. I don't have a lifeline, but I've got 500 in cold, hard cash burning a hole in my pocket. There's gotta be a gas station somewhere around here where I can pick up a gas can and some fuel. I hate leaving Moira like this, but I can't take her with me. I start walking. I think I find the gas station. Yeah, Harry Dubois, that's the character's name. I'm playing like a very Harry Dubois character. Alright. I start walking. Illuminated by the harsh fluorescent lights, I catch my... I'm not playing La Sombre, I guess, because I catch my reflection. In the... What would have a reflection? In a puddle? As I'm pumping gas, I look like absolute shit. My left eye is swollen shut. My nose is a bloody mess. You know what? My left eye is swollen shut. My right eye is bloodshot. My nose is a bloody mess. There's a slow trickle of vitae. I can feel making its way down the back of my neck. But gas can full. Things are looking up. Until I spot. This has to be like just like this has to be like just a Catholic priest. Like this has to just be like, oh, what are they? I feel like I'm getting things mixed up. But do Catholic priests wear like the black like gown basically? I'm looking it up. Priest gown. What are these called? Yeah, cassock. Long garment worn by Roman Catholic and other clergy, but his ordinary dress on it. Yeah, it's gotta be that. Until I spot the priest. It's gotta be one priest and then like just some other like guys surrounded by what I assume are more Catholics. That's such a funny... I can tell he's a priest because he's wearing a cassock. I can picture this so perfectly. He's wearing a cassock and brandishing a cross in one hand and holy water. And yeah, an open container of what I already said what I assume. An open container of holy water in the other. Let's roll. I was gonna say the cross doesn't do anything, but I kind of like, I think this has to be ferocity. This feels like I'm about to be in another fight. So I think this has to be ferocity. It could make sense for it to be cunning, but I do want to get a win, and I still have 3d4s in ferocity, so let's try it. So let's do this first. Alright, we got a 2. We got a 4! I'll roll the third one, but that doesn't matter. That's a full success. Absolute success. You get what you want, and more. Gain a blood token. Things are looking up for Matthias! Alright. I succeed. I get what I want and more. I guess that fits because I already said... I should have, like, waited to say that I got the gas. Because that's what I was trying to do. But whatever. I could have gone back and edited that. I do get the gas. Which is what I want. And more. The holy water is an obstacle, but the cross is easy work. I'm sure the gas station attendant called the police as soon as the fight broke out. But I was gone long before they arrived to find the mess I left for them. I hope Moira likes the blood of priests as much as I do. I'm lucky it's about 4 a.m. There aren't too many people around to question why I've got him slung over my shoulder. Good. We took him out. We took out a priest. Alright, this is the last roll, and then we have this is the last hour, and then we have the final roll. After 6 rounds. Okay, so this is the 6th round. We're actually not doing too bad. I really thought this was gonna go worse for my little shithead vampire. Alright, so roll 2d20 and pick one result. We've got Moira. We've got gas. We are fed. Moira is fed. Maybe. What are we gonna run into? A 1 or a 7? Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna pitch this to chat. 1, and keep in mind, this is our last, this is kind of our last obstacle before the final thing. And these are both really good. So 7 we've had before, which is someone from your past appears and asks something of you. We have already called our sire, Liliana, so this could be her calling us back and asking for something. So that's pretty compelling. But number 1, getting a 1, you run into an adversary and they are out for blood. What do you all think? Maybe I'll do a poll if Twitch will let me. Also, let me change my lighting a little bit. Will Twitch let me do a poll? New poll. Alright, final obstacle. My sire calls or adversary shows up. And let's have this be pretty quick. Let's do 2 minutes. Okay, we've got a poll going. You can decide what happens finally. Maybe it's another vampire at the club that you trashed. Ooh. I do like that. Yeah. That could be my adversary. If that gets the votes, then maybe we'll do that. Oh, well, right now we're at 50-50. So I guess if that happens... Oh, the number's good. Thank you so much for the follow. Why are my alerts off to the side? Oh, I know why they are. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you are doing good and having a good day. Let me fix my alerts. Part of the reason why I started stream a little bit later today is because I thought I already had done the overlay for this. I had the graphic part of the bulletin board looking part because Dreamy made it for me. But I thought I already made it in OBS. And then I went to start stream and I was like, oh, I did not make this in OBS. So I had to put everything together. So that's why my alerts are just in the middle of the screen instead of being off to the side where they're supposed to be. We're still tied. We've probably got 20 seconds left on the poll and it's tied 1-1. Maybe I'll flip a coin. Maybe because Ennio had an idea for who the adversary is. Maybe that could be what it is. I voted for the sire, but I support the above idea. Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. We'll wait. We've got just a few seconds. I graciously offer to lose. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we're at 50-50. I deleted the poll. Mila, you graciously lose. Okay. I feel like since we're so close to the end of things have been going pretty well. We got gas. I'm driving the car. Oh. What if... Okay. It's 5 a.m. We are so close to home. I'm not a good driver, but there's barely anyone else on the road. Moira is gradually coming to. I love the idea that there's just this, like, dead priest in the car that she's just drinking from. Gradually coming to it in the back seat. She's always in a better mood after a snack. I think, she's got some music playing. I'm finally feeling like this might turn out okay. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I've told this story on stream before. Something that I think is so funny is one time my sibling and their friend were in her car, and the friend was driving, and they were listening to the song Winner Takes It All by ABBA so loudly that the friend didn't notice. They were, like, just pulling out of, like, our driveway. The friend didn't notice that she was about to run into Mike's car because she was backing up to, like, pull out. So I always think this is so funny to me. The song playing Winner Takes It All being so loud and just in slow motion, like, this person, like, but, like, running into Mike's car. It was fine. It just got, like, a little dented, so it was fine. But, so I like the idea. Yeah. The music was so loud. But also, so my sibling was going, like, you're about to hit the car! But, like, the friend couldn't hear it because the music was so loud. So I'm imagining that, like, Matthias is in the front seat. He's not a good driver. He's, like, pretty old. Like, pretty old meaning, like, he was born long before cars were a thing, and he's a vampire. So Matthias is driving, Moira's in the back seat, Winner Takes It All is playing so loudly, like, we're home free, and all of a sudden the headlights light up, and there's, like, a dude in the road who just, that music came in at, like, the right time, who just, like, puts his hand out, and it's like one of those vampires that their thing is that they're, like, super fucking strong, and just, like, puts his hand out, and immediately, like, the front of the car, hello Melanie, that music cue was perfect, just dents the front of the car. So all of this is, like, happening in slow motion, is I look out and see this guy, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the guy that fucking kicked my ass. Like, this is the guy that, like, my face is swollen up. I barely escaped from him before. Anyone in chat, feel free to say the name of whoever this vampire is. So, here's the thing. I have to decide what stat I want to use to try to resolve this. I have 3d4 in ferocity. This reflects my resolve, ability to endure harm, and force of will. You are fierce and will tear down anything in your way. That kind of makes the most sense, but I have been using that a decent amount. The other thing I would say is cunning, which I only have a d4 in. But that is my ability to think quickly and avoid danger. I feel like cutting kind of fits better because what I think, if I'm so close to home, well, actually, if I'm so close to home, it makes sense to try to just drive away from this. But also, if this person has, like, threatened my life multiple times, it does make sense to try to go with ferocity to try to survive this. So I think that's what I'm gonna, or to, not just to try to survive this, but to try to, like, take this guy out. So the car, like, hits this guy's hand, and, like, stops, partially because he hit it, but also partially because, like, my first reaction is, like, I don't want to run someone over, so I put on the brakes. So I think I'm going to roll ferocity, and I think my goal is to just try to run this guy over. So I do get 3d4. I am going to spend a blood token, because I have 3. So I'm going to put myself down to 2 blood tokens, and I'm going to roll 4d4 while Winner Takes It All is playing. Oh, well, already got a 4. Let's roll them all and see what they would have been. A 4, a 1, another 4, and a 2. Full success. Winner takes it all. So I'm back up to 3 blood tokens. And all this is, I think I'm not even going to write this because I'm just picturing it so perfectly. So we're, like, listening to the song. This vampire appears in front of me. He's kind of beaten up too, because even though I lost the fight, I'm pretty ferocious. I give as good as I get. Puts his hand out, stops the car. I immediately kick it into reverse. Moira is in the back, like, kind of like, what is going on? The song is playing, and I just back up and drive at this kindred and just completely run them over. Like, this time, they're not able to stop the car. They're strong, but they're not that strong. And I just gun it for home. Which means that we are to the final event. Sunrise approaches, and you're almost at your goal. After 6 rounds, roll all the d4s you have left and add the total number of blood tokens you have remaining. For example, an unlucky vampire may be rolling just 3d4 and adding +1 from their only blood token. I've been pretty lucky. So, I've been so lucky that I'm worried I'm playing the game wrong, actually. But I think I am doing this right. I think I have been doing this right. So, we've got 3, 4, 5 d4 and 3 blood tokens. So let's add, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to count this as the roll. I'm just going to add another d4, and then I'm just going to hit roll so we see the result all at once. So, just as a reminder for the final event, if I get a 1 through 5, I didn't survive the night. I actually think I can't do that badly, because even if I get a 1 on all dice, I will still end up with 8. So my odds are actually pretty good. So the bad things that could happen, I do definitely survive. If I get a 6 through 10, I survive the night, but there's still a problem. Describe how your situation got more complicated. Makes sense because I've done kind of a lot tonight. 11 or higher, you survived and you're safe and sound. Describe your haven. All right. Is this the right number of d4s? Yes. 5 d4s plus 3. Let's hit roll. 9 plus 3, 11 or higher. Baby, we survived and we're safe and sound. We got Moira. So I feel like what we hear is, like, winner takes it all. We cream this vampire who I'm imagining just looks like one of, like, the Lost Boys kind of vampires, like, really tough, has, like, a denim jacket and, like, a mullet. And I just, like, I'm kind of this old, like, kind of, like, flabby, weird-looking dude in a car, run him over. And then the next shot we see is still Winner Takes It All is playing. And we're seeing, like, I think we start with, like, a zoom in on my face. Like, we see my face as I'm driving. And it's, like, Cruella de Vil, kind of, when she's driving and her hair is going everywhere. And then we see, like, it fades into the shot where I'm, like, laying in bed. The curtains are drawn. We're pulling back. Moira's in bed next to me. I don't even think it's anything sexual. I think it's just like I only have one bed, so we're just like both in bed. The camera's continuing to pull back. She's already asleep. I'm like about to fall asleep. Camera pulls back more. I live in like a shitty apartment. It's like very messy. There's the dead priest is like revealed as we continue to pull back, just like a crumpled guy. We pull back even more. We can see like on the like maybe not like on my like I feel like it's a studio apartment. And we can see, like, the table. There's, like, a table next to the door where I kind of just throw things. There's a stack of, like, all this money that I got from Sean. We continue to go back. We can see that I'm just in this, like, there's, like, a rat that, like, goes by in the shot. And we pull back and just see, like, this apartment complex. The sun comes up over the horizon. And Matthias Grimsley lives to see another day. I do owe Bella however thousands of dollars. We don't know how that's going to go. But that was great. That was so that was so fun. I loved playing kind of like a scummy kindred, but was like kind of, I don't know. I feel like Matthias is a bad dude, but I was pulling for him. I liked it. If you want to play this game, you should totally get it for yourself to play. Let me do this. Now playing. Ennio, thank you so much for sending this to me and for wanting to have your game. Yes, I think you may have missed it. It may have been before you came in, but I did say he was very, like, I realized he was very, Harry Dubois. And, you should go out and get this game. It's very good. The link is in chat right now, and then you can also follow Ennio to see what else he's doing with tabletop stuff. This has been Incredibly Indie, where we showcase tabletop RPGs you've probably never heard of, and you should play it. This is great. You should get it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before I wrap up. Let me go over to my credit screen, actually. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this, and, goodbye. If you're watching this on Twitch, don't leave yet.